avoid a delay in service and advocate for what you need, even when people are dismissing you or being extremely rude about the process. So, hello, you who may not know, Medicaid offers a waiver service for the home and community-based waiver service, and among the lines in the home and community-based services, there is a program for health direction services. Although it might be named something else in your state, so make sure you have the name in your state before following the steps in this video. But when you are in the health direction support program, you can hire whoever you want, but at the same time there are processes in place to make sure that you and the people that work for you are following all the rules and guidelines and being financially responsible. With that being said, one of the things that you have to do in the process is renew your individual support plan every year based on the date that you were approved for your state Medicaid waiver. In the state of Illinois, your renewal for your state Medicaid waiver is required once a year, and then you get an entire budget for the year. So normally what would happen is during one of your appointments with your support coordinator to make sure you're not being abused, they will talk to you about what you want in your plan for next year. So like, how many hours would you want? How many hours do you require based on the level of support that you qualify for, based on a memory assessment that is done by the Department of Mental Health. Once they have all that information, they will then write up your entire support plan with your daily routine, level of support that you need for everything from dressing to employment support to help playing video games. It doesn't matter what, that is all in your plan. Once they have that plan all written up, they will then send it over to you to review, edit, and sign. Once you have reviewed, edit, and signed your ISP, they then have to send it over to a supervisor to get it approved and to get your budget accurately imported to your payment system in which you use to pay your employees. But here's the kicker. But here's the thing. If you don't have that budget in your system by the renewal date, you cannot have your employees pop in or pop out, even if your plan was supposed to renew on that date. So what do you do then? Well, a couple of things to remember and a couple of things that I have done that help me is one, when I know my plan is about to be up for renewal, I ask my support coordinator to please have the renewal meeting in April of that month. In April of that year. This will give her time to write up my plan and send me edit as he will, as opposed to doing it a month before it is out of date because it takes them a while to process all their clients, so making sure that you have your plan in their hands and they can work on it for the next 2 months before your renewal date is the best thing that you can possibly do. And if you want to know how to edit your own ISP, I will put a video up here. The next piece right here or here, I don't know where. The next thing that is important the next important tip for you is to, if you have it, I highly recommend that you join a social media support group based on everyone who is using the same service that you are. So if you are using a health-directed support service, maybe looking into a local health-directed support Facebook group can help you understand all the rules and the new updates. Because as DMA employees, they oftentimes don't want to tell you how it is or what even is the process, and sometimes they don't even know their own processing. But the people who want the social media campaign and the social media platform oftentimes have a hidden weapon because they have advocates from all different walks of life, whether they're financial or experience or disability expert, whatever. Most of the time there's somebody in that support group that have the inside tip that you can know and ask them to help if you were to have an authentication issue. So make sure you are keeping up to date not only on the policy of your agency, but also within your own local community that doesn't have any support coordinator in it or any person with greater authority that allows you to be a better advocate. The next thing you want to do to make sure that if a delay in service did happen, if you want to inform your support coordinator or whoever is responsible for your services, you want to inform them that you do indeed know that your plan is expiring and you are aware that they are very busy people and that there is a potential service delay. When you do this, don't be mean about it, even though we all want to be. Don't be mean. You have to be like, I know that there's a potential that you might are going to be very busy and there's going to be service delay. Be really nice about it, but at the end of the day, we have for them to have a plan. Because if you have a plan and you understand what you're supposed to be doing and how to do it, then they can't backfire on you when the authentication happens. So email them, say, hey, I know my renewal is coming up, and I know that a potential for delay. This is what I think I need to do, or this is what I've done in the past. Can you verify the process and then ask for a supervisor who is higher up, because the service coordinator passes why they have so many people with so many different service codes that it's impossible to know what the protocol is for each code, but supervisors are required and mandated to know every service code and know how every process works. So allowing yourself to email your case manager understanding processing, it is very important that if you wake up the first day of your support services and they are not available, the first thing I would recommend you do is you have one of your support staff take a screenshot of the app you are using or the online platform that you are using. So you have the evidence that you tried to log in and you tried to do the protocol, but when you did, it did not work because most of the apps have VPS locators on their app database, and if it doesn't match up or you enter too many entries in a computer, sometimes it can knock you out or red tag your support services. We all don't want to do that. Make a demon button. Don't do that. So always have the evidence from your support staff that they tried and the app didn't work. And no, you don't have to do this more than once. Now if it happens multiple days in a row, have them take a picture for the next day and the next day and the next day. But you don't have to have someone take the same picture multiple times for one day. So always document it for each day that you have the services denial. Also, during the denial, make sure that you are communicating with your support staff what you would like the plan to be. So you don't need to tell them all, but unless you want to, of course. But you don't need to tell them all the detailed processes of the Department of Mental Health or your service coordinator. You just have to be like, hey, my services might be delayed a little. You might still going to be paid on time. So you want to tell them that yes, they will get paid, and here's the process to ensure payment. So being open and honest about here's what you need to do so that when my budget is authorized, you guys can then get paid. Around the payment deadline, and this might be different for every agency, and I'm not an expert, so please keep that in mind. But I know for my agency, they have predictable payment deadline that if you don't have the entry in for that pay period, your support staff will not get paid. So keeping an eye on the payment deadline is also very important, and being transparent with your case manager and supervisor when it comes to that. That's really, really, really important. Because most of the time, case managers are not working for the same agency that is paying your tax, so they literally do not know about the processes from another agency. I hope that makes sense, but also keeping an eye on the pay handler, documenting everything, taking screenshots, and being transparent. And whatever you do, don't back down. Always escalate the situation. If you feel like you're not being heard, you have the right to your support plan and the right to the services that you had written in your service plan. So if you're out there and dealing with a renewal deadline right now, know that you're not alone, and I hope this video helped. If it did, like this video, please for those who don't have a voice. So please keep my comments. We have some having good news, and I